starts right now.
The Omicron variant continuing to spread across the country tonight, but that's not the only thing Americans have to worry about. What travelers need to know before they fly this week.
Plus, an alleged murderer behind bars in Bexar County, the latest involving a shooting that happened just behind Ingram Park Mall this weekend.
But up first tonight, on the second to last night of Hanukkah, the Jewish community feeling much needed love here from the city of San Antonio. Yeah, the show of support comes just weeks after the Unity Over Hate event was organized following anti-Semitic messages spread throughout our city. As the night team's Lee Waldman shows us, the Riverwalk was alive with the Festival of Lights.
Voices from the crowd gathered in the Arneson River Theater echoed the Hanukkah blessings as Mayor Ron Nuremberg lit the first candle on the rainbow menorah.
It represents the kaleidoscope of humanity that comes together to celebrate religious freedom and freedom in general.
Rabbi Chaim Block led the ceremony, the 24th annual Hanukkah on the River, back in person after a year of virtual celebrations in 2020.
People are so excited to be able to get back in person, celebrating with everyone together this wonderful, beautiful holiday of lights called Hanukkah.
A mariachi band sang tunes of Hanukkah as families in the stands sang and clapped along. This celebration coming almost a month after the 83rd anniversary of Kristallnacht, when the Jewish Federation of San Antonio hosted a Unity Over Hate event to bring the community together after anti-Semitic messages shook our city. Neighbors in a North Side community found anti-Jewish flyers in their driveways. Days later, people demonstrated across from the JCC with anti-Jewish signs.
We have seen acts of hatred and intolerance and anti-Semitism in recent weeks, and as the message stated tonight, those are disease roots, and we will pull them out of our garden.
Then a sign with a swastika appeared on a South Side business. That night, 350 people, some of the Jewish faith, others who were not, joined in person to show there's no place for hate in San Antonio. As Hanukkah slowly comes to an end, that message rang true on our Riverwalk.
It's especially meaningful to be able to get out in the community, in public, and celebrate a Jewish holiday with the rest of the community as well.
Rabbi Block hopes that every person who took part in the celebration knows that they are important and has a purpose in this world that no one else can fill. He says that's the message of Hanukkah. At the Pearl, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
New tonight, we now have the mugshot of the teen who was facing charges in connection with a fatal shooting at a car wash over on the west side last night. We first told you about this story on the Nightbeat last night. This is 18-year-old Cesar Martinez. Officers say he allegedly shot a 33-year-old man at the car wash near Ingram Park Mall around 9 o'clock last night. When officers arrived there at the scene, the man was unresponsive with a gunshot wound to the hip. He was then rushed by EMS to University Hospital, where he later died. Investigators believe an argument broke out between Martinez, one of Martinez's family members, and that 33-year-old victim leading up to the shooting. Martinez booked for murder and is currently in the Bexar County Jail tonight on a $150,000 bond.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office has released the name of a woman allegedly killed by her roommate this week. She's been identified as 35-year-old Miranda Kennedy. The report showed she died from multiple blunt force injuries to the head. Kennedy's body was found about 20 miles from her home inside a trunk of a vehicle. Her roommate, 58-year-old Renee Devora, was in an hours-long standoff with SAPD and is now facing a murder charge. The arrest affidavit states Devora confessed to killing her.
We have also learned the name of a man killed in a motorcycle crash on Wednesday. He was 25-year-old Saul Eduardo Mendoza. That crash happening near TPC Parkway in Viejas in far North Bexar County. The sheriff's office says Mendoza lost control of his motorcycle and crashed, falling off the bike. They say he was not wearing a helmet.
A man is dead after police say he lost control of his car and hit a guardrail on the northeast side. Police say the crash happened on North Loop 1604 East at Nacogdoches Road around 1:30 this morning. EMS pronounced the man dead at the scene. Police still aren't sure what caused the man to lose control of the car, but say speed may have been a factor. No other vehicles were involved in the crash.
A party at a Northwest Side apartment complex takes a violent turn after a person there is stabbed. It all happened around 3:45 this morning at a complex on Babcock Road near UTSA Boulevard. Police say a group of men showed up and tried to get into the party, but the man at the door wouldn't let him in. The men got angry and one of them pulled out a knife and stabbed the man who was at the door. He was taken to University Hospital in serious condition. The group of men took off from the scene but were stopped by police down the road. Several people were detained and charges are currently pending. The Omicron variant continues to spread tonight, and now some people are worried we might see a winter surge.
Many Americans are now taking advice to get vaccinated and boosted. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas reports the demand for shots is rising to the highest level in months.
As Omicron spreads from coast to coast, top health officials are pleading with the public to get vaccinated and boosted.
We have several dozen cases, and we're following them closely, and we are every day hearing about more and more probable cases.
A new preliminary study is raising the possibility that Omicron may have borrowed genetic material from the common cold, thus making it more infectious. That study has yet to be peer-reviewed, and other scientists have to reach the same findings for that conclusion to be reliable. Dr. Anthony Fauci weighing in on CNN.
We really got to be careful before we make any determinations. But thus far, the signals are a bit encouraging regarding the severity.
Fauci's take is being echoed by Peter McGinn, who tells ABC News he recently tested positive for the Omicron strain after attending this anime convention in New York City, along with 53,000 others. McGinn was fully vaccinated and says his symptoms were far from severe.
I was just a little taken back to the fact that I, A, had COVID and B, it was the new one.
As more Omicron cases are identified in more states, the demand for vaccines is surging to the highest level in 7 months. In New Hampshire, more than 1,000 people flooding this vaccine clinic.
We've done flu clinics and drive-thrus for years.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Meanwhile, a cruise ship returned to New Orleans over the weekend with 10 people on board testing positive for COVID-19. The Norwegian breakaway left New Orleans last Sunday, stopping in Belize, Honduras, and Mexico. The cruise line says it has notified the city of New Orleans and the Louisiana Department of Health about those positive cases. Testing, quarantine, and isolation protocols were followed throughout that trip. Everyone who was on board will now be tested. Those who test positive must go directly home or self-isolate.
If you plan to travel anywhere internationally or you have someone visiting, there are some changes you need to know about. All inbound travelers must test negative for COVID-19 within 1 day of departure for the U.S. starting tomorrow. The new rule applies to all passengers 2 years or older, but there's no requirement for post-arrival testing or quarantine. The U.S. is still restricting entry to travelers from South Africa and 7 other African nations. Back here in Texas, a Texas police officer is dead following an incident outside of a Mesquite grocery store Friday. He has been identified as Richard Lee Houston II. Mesquite Police Chief David Gill described the 21-year-old veteran as a loving husband and father who was a 21-year veteran of the force. He was responding to a disturbance call Friday afternoon in the city outside of Dallas. That's when the suspect allegedly pulled out a gun, which led to an exchange of gunfire between the suspect and the officer. Police say the officer and the suspect were both injured and taken to Baylor Hospital in critical condition. The suspect is being treated. His current condition is unknown.
We also have new video tonight showing the moments just before a shooting happened outside a casino in Eagle Pass. A pair of casino slot vloggers were filming the moment. People realized something was happening. Take a look.
Hey, somebody's shooting over here.
Oh, somebody's shooting a gun.
A man has since been arrested in connection to that shooting. It all happened just before 1 o'clock this morning at the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino in Eagle Pass. According to the Dimmitt County Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to a vehicle that was involved in a shooting. They later found that vehicle about an hour later on FM 2644 and arrested a man who was believed to be involved in a shooting. So far, no injuries were reported. The casino did close briefly, but was back up and running an hour after that shooting.
One of the largest breast cancer symposiums in the world is coming to San Antonio this week. The GMSA team got a preview of the event as part of Leading SA. They spoke with Dr. Virginia Kaklamani, an oncologist with UT Health San Antonio. She says breast cancer prevention is going to be the big topic at the event, especially after many people skipped their annual checkups last year due to COVID. Take a look.
The San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium is where the latest approved treatments are first discussed with the best of the best researchers and physicians in their field. Dr. Virginia Kaklamani with UT Health San Antonio joined us to talk about the goals for the symposium and some of the amazing medical advancements. Take a listen.
What we're focusing more on is what we call targeted therapies. And targeted therapies are where they target the cancer and not the whole body. We've relied on chemotherapy way too much, and chemotherapy kills every fast-growing cell in the body, which is why women lose their hair. They have other side effects. But with the targeted therapies, those therapies are smart enough to just go to the cancer and therefore cause fewer symptoms and also work best. And the newest ones are the ones that focus on strengthening our immune system to kill the cancer cells.
All very interesting. Dr. Kaklamani also discusses why it's a big deal that this event is being held right here in San Antonio. The symposium is happening this Tuesday through Friday at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. For more information or to watch the full interview, head to KSAT.com and click the Leading SA tab.
Well, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. It was warm and it was humid out there. Right now, a lot of us are still seeing temperatures in the 70s. And it will be another very mild and muggy night, but I do have a set of weather changes coming for you tomorrow as we start the new work and school week. And I think a lot of folks will like these changes because it was warm today. In fact, it was 10 degrees above average for this time of year. Our high temperature at the airport in San Antonio, 77, but we had several spots today with high temperatures in the mid, even upper 80s down to the south, well to the south of Highway 90. So currently around San Antonio, we've got temperatures in the 70s, some 60s in a portion of the hill country. But as we get into your Monday, look what happens to our temperatures. We've got a front coming through tomorrow, and this time tomorrow night, a lot of us will be seeing temperatures in the 50s, even the 40s in the hill country. We're going to wipe away the very high humidity as well. I'll detail this front coming in tomorrow for you, and we'll take a look at your forecast for the week ahead coming up in just a bit.
The supply chain crisis is affecting your Christmas list. How shortages of popular toys are leading some parents to unconventional methods to make sure the right gifts land under the tree. Plus, new details emerging in that Michigan school shooting. What the 15-year-old suspect claims disturbing drawings his teacher discovered were really meant for. Tonight on.
And making sure your little ones stay safe from the Omicron variant while they're at school. We'll have some of the best guidelines from health officials next. Welcome back. We have some late-breaking news to tell you about tonight. A car trapped under an 18-wheeler on I-10. At this time, we know one person was taken to the hospital.
Our John Paul Barajas is live at the scene. John Paul, what do you know right now?
Oh, right now we're off I-10 just before 1518, right next to the city of Church. And Bexar County Fire Crews told us that this car was forced into and trapped under this 18-wheeler by other traffic. They said it could have been a lot worse. Adam, if you can zoom in to where that car is at a little bit, said if it wasn't for that spare tire rack, things could have been a lot worse. The driver of that car is believed to be about 30 years old. He was taken to the hospital. They say he was awake and talking to them, so that is a good sign. There's no update on his medical condition at this time. Traffic here on I-10 is still running on one lane. The sheriffs and the fire crews are hoping to remove this car here in the next few moments, and both lanes should be up and running. And obviously there's still a little bit more investigation to go on. As soon as we get more details, we'll bring those to you. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
John Paul, thank you. More than 18,000 runners are hopefully at home resting tonight after taking on the annual Rock and Roll Marathon this morning. The sprawling event shut down parts of downtown. This year's theme was Fiesta in December. It sure felt like it. The race returned in person this year after going virtual last year because of the pandemic. Organizers calling it a big success, citing the big turnout. And though it's nice to get to the finish line first, for some participants, the race was just about finding joy from personal growth.
And I have never run an event like this before. You know what I mean? I couldn't even go around the block in 2015. So now, 6 years later, we've gotten better, have overcome the heart attack, so did 14 half marathons.
Good for you. As the full marathon winners, the men's competition was San Antonio native Colin Mars, and for the women, it was Heidi Gall from North Carolina.
As variants continue to emerge throughout the pandemic, including the new Omicron variant, health officials recommend frequent hand washing, particularly with young kids at school. Here's ABC's M. Wen on what the best guidelines are for your kids.
Washing hands is one of the most important things kids can do to stay safe in school. Washing for at least 20 seconds with soap and water often is the key to prevent the spread of germs. Alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol is a good substitution if soap and water aren't available, such as in cafeterias, classrooms, and gyms. Children under the age of 6 should be supervised when using hand sanitizer to avoid swallowing or contact with eyes. School staff should build time into the day for children to take hand washing breaks after the bathroom, before lunch, and when playing outside. Visual cues such as hand washing posters or incentives such as stickers are great ways to motivate kids to wash their hands. Adults should do the same for good role modeling too. With this Medical Minute, I'm M. Wen.
Well, we were talking about the Rock and Roll Marathon.
Yes.
And how it was Fiesta in December.
Mm-hmm.
It sure felt like
it was definitely sweaty like Fiesta.
It was sweat. That's what I was going to say. It felt like more like Fiesta than December.
Honestly, yeah, very spring-like. I kept thinking to myself, very tropical. I got like Christmas in Hawaii vibes this weekend. It was very muggy. A lot of cloud cover too. We switched things up for you though, heading into the start of the new work and school week. So I'm glad you're here because you're going to get the scoop on the forecast. And while you may not need a jacket right when you step out early tomorrow morning, you may want to have a light jacket or a light sweater by the afternoon, certainly by tomorrow evening. High temperatures today, boy howdy, 88 in Cotulla, 84 in Pleasanton, a touch cooler here in San Antonio and in the Hill Country, but everyone had a lot of cloud cover and it was muggy out there. All across the state of Texas, a very, very mild day. Highs also in the upper 70s up near the Metroplex, 80 the high in Wichita Falls, even in Amarillo this afternoon, mid 70s, so well above average for the entire state of Texas today. And while it was very warm this afternoon, we're changing things up for you as we start a new week thanks to a cold front that will be rolling in tomorrow. By tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, our temperatures will be falling into the 50s. So some changes are on the way here very shortly. Currently, low to mid 60s in the Hill Country at 70 in Del Rio, 74 in Cotulla. So still nice and warm out there. Our dew points are still very high. So the humidity is quite thick and we've got extensive cloud cover across the area. A lot of this is some high clouds that have been fairly persistent all day, but even overnight, those low clouds will fill back in and that will contribute to some patchy mist through early tomorrow morning. Busy weather across other parts of the country. We've got some winter weather coming off the Great Lakes into parts of the Northeast there, and some severe weather across the central tier of the country from northern Arkansas into portions of Tennessee and Kentucky. That yellow box is a severe thunderstorm watch box. The red box is a tornado watch that's out for that portion of the country, and it is along the same front that will be moving into our area tomorrow. However, we will be far removed from the really good rain making energy, so we're really not looking at a whole lot of rain with this front, and certainly no concern for severe weather, but a window for rain and a much cooler air mass sliding into Texas tomorrow behind this frontal boundary. So let's break things down for you. Heading into 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, it is still going to be overcast, muggy, but the front will be working into the Hill Country. So if you're up in the Hill Country, Fredericksburg, Blanco County, Kerrville, Rock Springs, even Valverde County, front gets to you 6 to 9 a.m. with a broken line of some rain here. For San Antonio, Comal County, Kendall County, along Highway 90 out to the west, front gets to you between about 9 and 11 a.m. And then after lunch for our counties south of Highway 90, including Gonzales, Hallettsville, Cuero, and DeWitt County, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Front will continue to clear on out, and then we'll be left with a much cooler air mass in place. So we will carry a brief window for rain, but what you'll notice more than anything tomorrow behind this front is the temperature drop. Tomorrow does look to be an upside down day for a lot of us, and that means that our high temperature will likely occur in the morning, and then temperatures will fall into the afternoon. Little rebound to near 60 tomorrow afternoon, but it is going to feel pretty chilly tomorrow, especially when you factor in a gusty north wind. We'll likely see some wind gusts up near 30-35 miles per hour late morning through the mid to late portion of the afternoon, mid 40s as you head out the door on Tuesday. We'll be right back.
The newly crowned Conference USA champions are going bowling this December. Where are the UTSA Roadrunners headed? Let's find out by checking in with our Greg Sims.
Yeah, this season just keeps going and going, and great for them after that great Conference USA championship win on Friday night. And we now know who's headed to San Antonio for the 2021 Valero Alamo Bowl, coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay. After holding off Western Kentucky to win their first ever Conference USA championship, the UTSA Roadrunners accepted an invitation to play in the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl today. Who will they go up against, and when is the game? We'll have all that info for you tonight, plus reaction from the Roadrunners.
And to have two, top 16 ranked teams, 14 versus 16 in Oregon versus Oklahoma, teams with 10 wins, going for win number 11 here in San Antonio. Tremendous brand names from that perspective, and obviously have a coaching legend coming in with Coach Stoops going into the Hall of Fame later this week.
There you go. Don't need to know anymore. For the first time ever, the 16th ranked Oklahoma Sooners have accepted an invitation to play in the 2021 Valero Alamo Bowl, where they will face the 14th ranked Oregon Ducks on December the 29th at 8:15 p.m. What makes this a first in Valero Alamo Bowl history? We will tell you.
6 to shoot. Murray inside with a right hand off the glass for 2.
And don't look now, but our San Antonio Spurs are on a 4-game win streak after ending double-digit home win streaks for Portland and Golden State as part of their 3-game West Coast road trip. Have the Spurs finally turned the corner? All that plus, which one of these college coaches made the worst exit from his university for more money? Lincoln Riley or Brian Kelly? Tonight, you decide. Instant Replay is live, and it's after the Nightbeat, and they are just getting scorched on social media.
Doesn't matter. They got a truck full of cash out their front door.
They sure did.
Thanks, Greg. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. We begin this half hour with the Oxford Township High School shooting. The Crumbly family, Jennifer and James, along with their 15-year-old son, all now in separate cells in the same Michigan jail.
The couple was arrested in Detroit as they were hiding out in a vacant building. ABC's Maureen Norwood has the new details as the parents face involuntary manslaughter charges.
James and Jennifer Crumbly, the parents of the accused Oxford High School gunman, spending their first night in jail, each held on a $500,000 bond.
Good afternoon, please be seated.
The couple pleading not guilty to 4 counts each of involuntary manslaughter.
How are you pleading to count 4? Not guilty.
A judge setting that combined $1 million bond after prosecutors called the couple a flight risk. Their misarrangement on Friday triggering an hours-long manhunt that finally ended after a tip from a nearby business owner led detectives to an empty Detroit warehouse where they say the Crumblies were. But the couple's attorneys insisting they weren't trying to run.
But our clients were absolutely going to turn themselves in. It was just a matter of logistics.
Prosecutors say James Crumbly had his son with him as he bought the gun on Black Friday that was later used in the rampage that left 4 students dead. Prosecutors accusing them of failing to step in on the day of the tragedy, despite being confronted with a disturbing drawing and chilling message, quote, blood everywhere, that was found at the boy's desk. Their son, Ethan Crumbly, charged as an adult with murder, terrorism, and other crimes. He's pleaded not guilty.
Your Honor, this is a very serious, horrible, terrible murder and shooting, and it has affected the entire community.
The school now addressing criticism of its actions leading up to the shooting. The superintendent now saying in a statement the suspect claimed the drawing was a part of a video game he was designing and informed counselors that he planned to pursue video game design as a career. And at no time did counselors believe the student might harm others based on his behavior, responses, and demeanor, which appeared calm. The superintendent says the Crumbleys refused to take their son home, and because the child had no prior disciplinary infractions, the decision was made he would be returned to the classroom. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions honoring the shooting victims, holding this moment of silence before Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Here in Texas, a man is dead after 2 Houston police officers hit him with the patrol car while on a high-speed chase. According to the police department, the officers were trying to help pursue suspects connected to a stolen vehicle and aggravated robbery when they lost control of their cruiser. The vehicle ending up on a sidewalk, hitting a pedestrian unrelated to the case who has not been identified yet. He was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 of the 5 suspects were caught. The officers involved are currently on administrative leave.
New developments tonight in the firing of CNN anchor Chris Cuomo. We are also learning he was accused of sexual harassment just days before his departure from the network. An attorney notifying CNN of the claims on Wednesday. Cuomo was first suspended, then fired amid an investigation into work he did defending his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, for similar sexual harassment allegations.
Former Senator and Republican presidential nominee Bob Dole has died. His family says he passed away in his sleep early this morning. For 27 years, Dole served as a U.S. Senator from Kansas, including 2 stints as a Senate Majority Leader. He was also the unsuccessful Republican presidential nominee against Bill Clinton in 1996. Dole was a World War II hero, suffering a shattered shoulder after being attacked on a rescue mission, leaving his right arm permanently disabled. It was announced in February that he was being treated for advanced lung cancer. Dole was 98 years old. President Joe Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin will speak in a video conference on Tuesday. There's no word on how long the meeting will last, but the talks come as tensions escalate between the U.S. and Russia over a Russian troop buildup on the Ukrainian border. Nearly 100,000 Russian soldiers are said to be on the border of Ukraine.
If you still have some Christmas shopping to do, you might want to get a move on it. Shortages of popular toys are now forcing some parents to turn to other shopping methods. ABC's Deirdre Bolton shares how to make sure gifts get under your tree in time.
It's one of the busiest shopping seasons of the year, and the clock is ticking to get some of those must-have gifts.
Parents go to any lengths to get their kids what they want for Christmas.
With the supply chain crunch and ships sitting off our coasts, some products are scarce, leading to more bot activity than ever.
These bots are so much faster than you and I are. And so if you've had this experience, if you're after something that's very popular and you've seen it in stock, you may have tried, you've gotten it into your cart, and then suddenly it's snatched away from you at the last minute. That is all these bots working.
And the price gouge on these resale products, not in the Christmas spirit. One collector sees the pricing pressure firsthand when looking for a special Pokemon anniversary item.
Retails for $120, and you'll see it on eBay for over $300, even $600 even. So it's insane.
The bots are fast, but you can use social media to stay one click ahead.
The reason why you have to use social media is because the key to buying these consoles is to knowing when the retailers restock.
You need to be early in the digital line to be ready. Experts say turn on push notifications for social media accounts that announce new item availability and releases. Another tip, join rewards or insider programs at a well-known retailer. They will fill your order as soon as possible.
Retailers are working very hard to give human beings their level shot.
The resale practices used by bots aren't illegal, but experts say buyer beware if thinking of purchasing with one.
If you buy a PlayStation through a bot, what happens if it breaks? You know, what are your return rights? How do you file a warranty claim? Think about those things as well.
That was ABC's Deirdre Bolton reporting. Now to a story we've been following about a plumber who found a large sum of money hidden inside the walls of a Houston megachurch.
The plumber says he should get a reward for finding hundreds of envelopes of cash and checks.
Houston police say the discovery could be linked to a case from back in 2014 after someone stole $600,000 from Lakewood Church. The plumber who found the stash at the megachurch says although he didn't solve the case, he solved some very important clues.
I feel like I should get something, you know. I feel like some type of reward should get offered to me.
At the time of the theft, Crime Stoppers offered a $25,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. But because of how the plumber found the money and the expired statute of limitations on this particular felony theft case, the man is not owed any money.
Give the man some money.
Bummer. Just a little bit.
Pay him. Or do something nice with that money.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, I mean, this
Katie
weather...
has had such a nice day. She's slowly walking over here to tell us what we can expect tomorrow.
I knew it was coming.
She's moving slowly like the front.
I know, I got these heels on. Yeah, I gotta, yeah.
Gotta get there safely.
Okay, we're here. Was I? It was warm this weekend. It was warm this weekend. It will get cooler tomorrow, thankfully. Also on Tuesday, but notice it doesn't hold. We'll be back 70s by Wednesday and way warm toward the end of this week before another front to start next weekend. So 'tis the season for a little temperature roller coaster, and that's what we have ahead of us this week. We will talk more in detail about tomorrow's cold front coming up in just a bit. I'll be ready.
You did great, Katie. Great job. A limited run big screen event makes it into the top 5 at the box office. Details on where the religious streaming series Christmas with the Chosen stands.
And are you trying to cut some costs when it comes to cable? Well, an antenna may be the option for you. Right after the break, Marilyn Moritz shows us which one you should consider.
Chris Patterson cut the cord years ago. He uses an antenna to watch Sunday sports and local news. His favorite perk?
There's no monthly fees, and you don't have to have any sort of contract with a cable company or any other company.
Consumer Reports tested indoor antennas of different shapes and sizes in both the city and the suburbs.
In our tests, most models were able to receive dozens of free over-the-air channels.
One that worked well is the WineGuard Flat Wave Amped. It's super thin for mounting on a wall or window. Their tests also found little correlation between price and performance. This budget model from Naxa has the classic rabbit ears and loop design, but also has modern features. No matter which antenna you choose, several factors impact the number of channels you get.
Where you place your antenna can be really important. We suggest placing it as high as you can and preferably close to a window.
Where you live and buildings and trees can also impact reception. You may need to try several models to find what works for you, so shop where you can easily return or exchange. You should also rescan every month or so because you might pick up new stations you couldn't get before. As for Chris, besides saving money, he found his antenna came in handy.
A couple years ago when there was a major storm and the cable went out in town for a couple days, if you had an antenna, you could still watch TV.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Antennas. Coming back.
Everything old is new again. Katie will be back right after this. Katie's in the Weather Center, ready to tell us all about what's happening this week. And we're kind of all over the place this week, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yes. And Courtney and I have kind of been talking. I know some folks haven't been feeling the greatest. And
it's been a week. Headaches. Everyone thinks it's allergies. Yeah, that kind of thing.
I feel fine. I don't know about these 80-year-old ladies over here. I'm just teasing.
We were just talking about Wheel of Fortune, okay? Who doesn't love Wheel of Fortune?
Everybody does. It was on earlier tonight.
It was.
I'm just picking on you guys.
That's okay.
I have all kinds of problems.
All kinds of problems. We'll leave it at that. Yes, plenty of ups and downs with the weather this week. That's not atypical for December in South Texas. We typically see a lot of back and forth, and maybe that back and forth, the inconsistency with the weather contributes to a little bit of stuffiness and all that jazz. So more of that potentially this week. Today's time lapse, it was a pretty gray one. Low clouds lifted into the afternoon and just a few little peaks of sun here or there. But the high clouds, those were very persistent all day long. And now those lower clouds that you see here toward the end of the time lapse, those are starting to build back in, and they'll be with us through early tomorrow. So because of the cloud cover, because of high humidity, our temperatures having a hard time dropping. We're still in the low to mid 70s in many spots, some 60s up across a portion of the hill country. So last half hour, we talked about tomorrow's air temperatures. They will be changing, but we'll also see these numbers change tomorrow. Our dew points, the measure of the humidity or the measure of the moisture in the air. When these numbers are high, 60s and 70s, that's when it really feels very muggy out there, and that's where we currently sit. Our dew point numbers are very close to our air temperatures in many spots, so that contributes to the muggy feel to the air. Tomorrow, behind the cold front that comes through, we will see our dew points drop Monday into Tuesday, so we'll get a couple days with some drier air in place, but notice back half of the week, Wednesday into Friday, they shoot right back up. So we'll see some ups and downs in terms of our air temperatures, but we'll also see some ups and downs this week in terms of the humidity. So kind of all over the board. This is the time of year that sometimes we just have to take it day by day. And this week will kind of be like that. So another look at your Monday, slightly different perspective here. I know it seems like there's a lot happening. Early tomorrow, still gray, still humid, some patchy fog and mist will be possible. Our temperatures for a lot of us will likely be sitting near 70 when you step out the door in the morning. So not much change even from where we are currently. Then the front comes through. mid to late morning here in San Antonio, 9 to 10 a.m. So by lunchtime, we're seeing some changes. Skies will still be mostly cloudy. We're going to have a very hard time shaking the clouds tomorrow, but temperatures will drop into the 50s by about lunchtime. A little rebound to near 60 through the middle of the afternoon, but you really won't notice that rebound much at all. Dry air filters in the afternoon. Breezy north-northeast winds 10 to 20. We'll have some gusts in the afternoon up near 30-35 miles per hour. So that is something to consider for tomorrow. You may have to chase some of the holiday lawn ornaments if they're not secured overnight, because it will be gusty at times as we get into tomorrow afternoon. As far as the rain chances go tomorrow, we're going to have a few hours, a window of some low rain chances as the front comes through. But after that, rain chances will drop out of the forecast. Another look at the futurecast. Again, just a broken line of some rain moving through along the front. So again, just a couple hours, our window for a quick hitting dash of rain. And then as the front drops south into tomorrow afternoon, rain chances will end. But as I mentioned, we'll hold on to the cloud cover. So this is the big takeaway for tomorrow. The temperatures will likely see our high before lunchtime near 70, then falling into the 50s with that breezy north wind. I'd say it's probably going to feel pretty chilly out there by tomorrow afternoon. Middle back half of the week, warm and humid again. And then it looks like another front to start next weekend. So a lot to keep tabs on this week. We'll be here to keep you updated, guys.
All right. Thank you,
Katie.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I complain the most around here.
I don't know who you're calling 80.
I'm like 100.
Despite early December being a quiet time at theaters, the weekend box office top 5 had a surprise. We'll tell you which movie came out on top. That's next.
Eternals took 5th place with $3.9 million, boosting its domestic total to $156 million. Christmas with the Chosen, a Fathom Events limited-run big-screen event based on the popular religious streaming series, came in 4th with $4.1 million. House of Gucci stayed in 3rd, taking in $6.8 million. Ghostbusters Afterlife made $10.4 million, for 2nd place and a domestic total of $102 million. With no big new movies in theaters, Encanto kept its box office crown, earning $12.7 million for a domestic total of $58 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
After losing 3 out of 4, the Cowboys finally get a big win they needed just before having to face their arch rivals in the NFC East this coming Sunday.
And stop me if you've heard this before. The Houston Texans lost. With more on what's an instant replay tonight, let's head over to Greg Simmons. Ouch.
And you'll find the shocking they're the first team to be eliminated from the playoffs already. And with just 2 weeks left of the high school football season, who's left coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
Here's one in the end zone. Gallup twisting and a touchdown.
The Dallas Cowboys get a few extra days to prepare for their arch rivals, the Washington football team, after they were able to beat the Saints in New Orleans last Thursday. Will the Cowboys offense be able to catch up to their defense, who is performing lights out? The sports guys weigh on that tonight. And the Houston Texans not only lose again, but they do it without scoring a single point again. We have reached the state semifinals in the high school football playoffs with all the San Antonio teams eliminated, but there are 3 in our area who are still in the hunt for the state title. Tonight, find out in the best of big game coverage and all new 12's Top 12. All that plus, where is UTSA bowling this December? Who's headed to San Antonio for the Valero Alamo Bowl and a milestone tonight? Instant Replay is live, and it is next.
Lots to talk about as always.
Getting ready.
Thank you, Greg. We'll see you in just a bit.
We'll be right back.